when you give somebody a gift, there's a difference between a gift and then there's a difference between corrupting the individual. There are two different things. If somebody finishes doing something for you and you say, oh, boss, what you have done, I like. You have actually made my life easier, or you have done work that has impressed me. So take. That's a different ball game altogether. But where the person demands that give me A so that I can give you B, that's where the problem is. Danny, hold on to this. We'll come back to this particular one. Take me to 3 years ago, where Mr. Kofi Boakye of the Ghana Police Service sat down with Mr. Kwesi Pratt on TV3's Hot Issues. These days is no longer on air. Listen to it carefully, that conversation. Enjoy.
Special but very important. CDD, Afrobarometer report, all of that. They are always citing the police as being amongst the most corrupt. How come? Is it true?
The point is that what is corruption? We have to posit the corruption in the right context. Is it the giving of money?
Or the taking of money?
Or taking of money. That is an infinitesimal aspect of corruption. What about nepotism? What about favoritism? What about patronage? What about clanism? For instance, now, I've seen your people. A policeman arrests TV3 car. They call me. Oh, Commander, we've been arrested though. Why? Oh, we don't have insurance, we don't have property. I said, let me talk to the boy. Oh, Papa, oh, they are my people, leave them. Is that not corruption? People going from maybe CDD, you know somebody, you want your son to be recruited. You go and see somebody because you are a professor. They say, oh, bro, bring him. He's recruited. Without going through the merits, without going through sun in the sun, he's recruited. And so many other things. So what kind of methodology? What was their point of reference? And that's my problem. And between me and you, if now we go and interview people at the harbor alone, they will have who is more corrupt there.
Exactly.
When we go and interview teachers or people who want to be admitted, JSS, you know who is more corrupt. But you know, police, among all the words, police, we are the interface between the law and the public. Is that right? Mm-hmm. And they see us more. Policemen are always on the road. And even the police corruption they're talking about is only on the roads. The MTU, which we have accepted that is bad. Mm-hmm. But who gives them the money? Quite apart from that, traditionally, culturally, our system endorses corruption. Look at all our proverbs. On setting your down on Tafre, and you book him, on setting your down, on setting your down, this was saying, Diabatabu and Itrekana, a Senate Boko, no one association on them, will be Padia Kokotoka and Abro. Are these not corrupt proverbs? Therefore, we have to look at our own culture. So saying that police is corrupt is so easy. Because these are the people you see outside. Who else do you see outside? And let's also look at the quantum. One man's corruption can dupe the country for about $10 million.
Can kill thousands of people.
Yes. And police corruption, one city. So is it the quantum or the numbers? And is it because we are always on the... So I have a problem with the CDD, Afrobarometer, because the sample size, the context in which corruption is defined should also be made to us. So that we look at nepotism, patronage, and all those things, join them together, combine them with the money collection, and let's...
That's COP Nathan Kofi Boakye. And you see the perspective he brought to the conversation. That even from a traditional standpoint, we're corrupt. Somebody's asking, oh, why are journalists not part of the list? If they had asked questions about journalists, I'm sure they would have gotten the metrics. I'm sure if they had gotten into churches to ask about pastors who preach that people have to be righteous, have to be on the right path, and the pastors announce mobile money numbers and do not actually go and declare to the GRA that this is how much I've gotten from it. Because it's a different matter if somebody is giving, and pastors receive gifts in this country. Do they pay gift tax? In fact, our own national cathedral, with all the brouhaha happening, with all the big men of God on it, and I'm surprised they didn't feature brouhaha, all the conversations about national cathedral and how much we had spent money on it without going to cabinet, without going to parliament to go and spend the people's monies on. And now we are being told that, oh, those were gifts, and the conversations about the ownership of the cathedral and why our attorney general is there as secretary to the owners of it and all of those. Those conversations have died. Did the National Cathedral Secretariat pay any gift tax? If they indeed receive gifts, did they pay gift tax? These are the men of God. They should be leading us to a certain direction. So who? Because we know that both the giver and the taker of bribe are responsible. They are equally wrong before the law. So now how is it that as a nation, how are we able to amend our ways? Because rehashing the problem every now and then is not helping us. Rehashing the problem every now and then is not helping us. So we need to, all of us are included, all of us are involved. We all need to at some point pause and reflect. We are happy when they say, oh, Ghana is the second most peaceful country in Africa. Oh, we are happy. Ghana, when we were enjoying world press freedom, until recently when we dropped so hard that even that one, we are finding reason to explain and defend and say why there is press freedom and that the index suddenly is lying. That is also another portion of corruption. But corruption, we usually look at corruption only from the point of view of the political class and from financial corruption. But I tell you, there are many different kinds of corruption that you have no idea about. Your pastor preaches to you in church. When you have trouble, you call your pastor to pray for you. When you want money, you go to your church to go and collect help. But when it is time for you to pay your tithe, you find another spiritual father somewhere to go and give him money. That's corruption. Your pastor preaches for you. Your pastor takes care of you. Your pastor prays for you. When you want money, you go to your pastor. When you don't have food to eat with your children, you go there. When you want counseling, you go there. But when you finish and it is time for you to pay your tithe, for your pastor to be able to get something to pay his electricity and water bills, then you take it to another person you call Papa, spiritual father.